Dear friends, I want to wish you a Shabbat Shalom. This Shabbat, we read the Torah portion of Toldos, and Friday is Rosh Chodesh, the first day of the month of Kislev, which is a very special day in the Hasidic calendar and really for world Jewry, as in 1977, when the Rebbe had a massive heart attack, and actually followed by another one, during Simchat Torah celebrations. And though he wasn't a young man, he recovered miraculously and came back stronger than ever. And over the next several years, 15 years, until he had a stroke, led Chabad to new heights, both in its outreach, in the Hasidic philosophy revolutions, and many more aspects of revolutionizing Jewish life and knowledge for individuals and the public, even to the general public, the non-Jewish world as well. And it's very interesting that in this week's Torah portion, we read about the twin brothers of Esav and Yaakov. Esav the oldest, Yaakov the youngest, Esav being the one who didn't care much about God and religion and spirituality, was more interested in all the goods of this material world and just couldn't get enough. No matter what means he needed, legal, illegal, moral, immoral, he did it to get to his desires. And Yaakov, the younger brother, the perfect child, the perfect person, obedient, studious, the right type of friend, always has the right word to say, calm, collected, the perfect person. And what we find interesting is that though Jacob seemed like the natural heir to the future of the Jewish people, Isaac preferred to give the blessing to his oldest son, Esav. And the question is why? Isaac saw his children. He knew who they were. And the only way that Jacob ultimately got the blessing from his blind father, who though he was blind physically, was a very smart, intuitive person, but yet Jacob deceived him by dressing up like Esav, so when his blind father may want to touch him and feel him when he comes to get the blessings, he will feel that it's the hairy body of Esav, his hairy hands, not like the very smooth skin of Yaakov. And he comes and gets the blessings, and he talks to his father with such respect and thanking God that his father recognized this is not the way my son Esav talks. He's gruff, he's rough, he's difficult. And he says the famous words after he feels his skin, and he says, Hakol kol Yaakov. The voice, the words, the tone, the gratitude of God, thanking God, this is the voice of Jacob. But the hands are the hands of Esav. And this really echoes throughout the generations, because this is really what separates the Jewish people from everyone else. Our strength has always been in our voice. Our voice meaning the words of Torah, the words of prayer, the words of Judaism. We have won again and again and have continued to exist by the might of what's right, speaking the truth, espousing only good things, being positive, the strength of the voice. While Esav, the world around us, had always tried to bully us with their power, their physical power, big in numbers, and with all the physical means of war. And that's how they always try to quiet us, because the quiet, sometimes low voice of the Jewish people had always penetrated deep into everyone because of its truth that it represented. And we find as well that this is something that is very pertinent to our generation as well. Because in bringing up a family, connecting to people, there have always been two ways. One is through fear. A parent instills fear in the child. A teacher, a person, a boss instills fear in those under them, and through that they get the loyalty of some sort, and they get things done. And that's been the way the world has worked mostly. But there's another method, through love, through closeness, through building someone up, through bringing out the best in them, by thanking them, by showing gratitude, through the softer approach, the loving approach, the approach of the voice. And though for many generations the method of fear worked, even in the Jewish world, people would behave through fear. Not long ago, caning, hitting with a strap was normal. 70, 80, 90 years ago, and obviously before then. But today, the Rebbe said we live in a generation when the only way we can connect to those around us, even those who are under our jurisdiction, like our children, our students, our employees, our fellow colleagues and workers, is through the method of Akol Kol Yaakov, through the power of our mouth, to say the right thing, the right tone, the right approach, talking positive. That's the true way to win people. This is the generation we live in, that we can bring much more through love than through fear. And this is what the Rebbe embodied. The Rebbe's life was full of love. The Rebbe had an incredible love for his fellow Jews and fellow humanity, a love that knew no end. The Rebbe would leave no stone unturned to reach someone who he felt their pain, and include whoever he can to be able to make that person's life better. And there are myriads of stories of how this happened on an individual basis, obviously on a collective level as well. The Rebbe reached out to Jews coming from the conference of Chabad Shluchim last week, when hundreds of thousands, millions of Jews were represented by the Chabad Shluchim, representing 104 countries, every place where Jews live. It was incredible to feel that the Rebbe's love is reaching more and more Jews and bringing more Jews back to Judaism. We don't need fear. God loves us infinitely, and the Rebbe showed us how we can love in the same way infinitely. Love with your big heart, your fellow Jews and your fellow humanity, and you will find they will be attracted to you and want to be part of what you're doing because of that love. But to get that love, learn Torah. When you understand our place in the world and God's great love for us, then you'll learn how to love like God loves. So I wish you Shabbat Shalom. Let's fill our lives with love. It's my birthday today. I want to wish you all the blessings that you need for you and your family. God should grant you physically, materially, spiritually, nachas, joy, health, anything you need. May you be blessed to have it fully, because I feel blessed knowing all of you and having you in my life. Have a great Shabbat. God bless you all. Shabbat candlelighting time in Montreal, 5:17 p.m.